The PIF reportedly makes the next bidding round for Starbucks, and Forbes reveals the top 50 listed companies in Egypt. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Faraj. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund has reportedly been shortlisted as a bidder for a stake in the MENA and Central Asia Starbucks franchise owned by Al Shaya Group. The PIF is among the bidding firms that have made it to the next round as the sale process is in the final stages. Kuwait-based Al Shaya Group could sell up to a 30% stake worth between $4 and $5 billion. The business has been privately owned by the Al Shaya family since 1999. The UAE's real GDP growth is expected to be 5.4% in 2022 compared to the 3.8% recorded in 2021, according to its central bank. The bank revised upwards its previous projections after forecasting in January 4.2% GDP growth. The bank expects non-oil real GDP to increase by 4.3% and the real oil GDP growth to reach 8% in 2022. It credits public spending, credit growth, higher employment, improved business sentiment, Expo 2020 Dubai, and spillover from the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Jordan has launched its economic modernization vision, which identifies drivers for employment and economic growth that will require $57.75 million in investments and financing throughout the coming decade. The majority of the funding is expected to come from the private sector, including FDI and public-private partnership projects. The vision will be implemented over 10 years and includes 366 initiatives in various sectors to achieve sustainable growth and generate jobs. Forbes Middle East has revealed its first top 50 listed companies in Egypt ranking, featuring the country's most valuable and profitable players. The aggregate market value of the top 50 stands at $28.5 billion, while the value of assets exceeds $142 billion. The banking and financial services sector is the most represented with 16 entries, followed by real estate with 8 entries and industrials with 7. View the full list on ForbesMiddleEast.com. Australia's central bank raised its key cash rate by a surprisingly large 50 basis points to 0.85% today and signaled more tightening ahead as it fights surging inflation. The bank says given current inflation pressures and the still very low level of rates, it decided to move by 50 basis points. Markets had been split on whether rates would rise by 25 points or 40 points. The UN World Tourism Organization says international tourism arrivals jumped 182% to 117 million during Q1 2022 from 41 million in the same period a year previous. This is still 61% below 2019 levels before the COVID-19 pandemic struck. March alone witnessed 47 million international arrivals, showing that recovery in the tourism sector is gaining momentum as COVID restrictions are gradually lifted. As of June, 45 destinations, including 31 in Europe, have entirely lifted all pandemic-related restrictions. The pay gap between workers and CEOs at 300 publicly listed U.S. companies with the lowest median wage jumped in 2021. The Institute for Policy Studies says the average gap was 670 to 1, up from 604 to 1 in 2020. Average CEO annual salaries climbed to $10.6 million, while worker salaries reached $24,000. The findings will give new ammunition to investors who push for social justice causes as part of their environmental, social, and governance agendas, or ESG agendas. Pfizer will spend $120 million to boost production of its COVID-19 antiviral treatment, Paxlovid, as the White House continues its efforts to increase access to the first pill authorized by the FDA to treat the virus. Pfizer aims to produce 120 million courses of the drug for high-risk patients this year. The release of the 4th season of Netflix's Stranger Things has made it the 3rd show to garner more than 5 billion minutes of viewing in a week. From May 23rd to the 29th, viewers watched 5.1 billion minutes of Stranger Things on Netflix. Only 2 other shows saw similar attention within a week: Tiger King with 5.3 billion minutes and Ozark with 5.2 billion minutes, both during COVID lockdowns. I'm Ramia Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.